So here's my deep freezer that I've hacked the and I've also blocked the air vent. That's very not good for it. I've hacked the controller so I can control the temperature arbitrarily. So right now I've got some bottled beer and a CO2 and a keg in there. The keg's empty. It had cold water in it. Soda water. Yeah. So 2 degrees is bad for fermenting, but you don't want uncontrolled temperatures for fermenting, because you want a consistent temperature across the ferment so it's more predictable. Because yeast does different things, different species of yeast like living at different temperatures. So I need to control the temperature of 20 odd litres of essentially water that does produce a bit of heat. And so previously I was doing it with that and it worked great, but now I need, because I'm using that for serving temperature stuff, I need another thing for fermenting temperature stuff. So that's what this is. A big yellow rectangular prism over here. Previously I tried to use this wine cooler that I got for free that Michelle got from the side of the road. The insulation on this stuff is quite thin and dense, so it's not a very good insulator. This foam stuff is quite a lot better. It's 30 ml thick, and it's got some numbers that probably make sense to people who live in cold climates, but it's quite insulatory. So I've strapped up this box here, and I've got the coldification module from the wine cooler over there. It's just a Peltier plate, 2 heat sinks and 3 fans, 2 on the hot side and 1 on the cold side. The cold side is, as you might expect, inside. So I have a fan blowing on the cold side of the radiator there, and that essentially pumps heat out of this enclosure and squirts it out there. So there's some fins on the back there, and so this is getting slightly warm. I've only had it on for 10 minutes or so. The power supply is getting considerably warm. I might have to mount the power supply in such a way that it doesn't conduct any heat into the box. So the idea is this won't be so long, and what is currently length will become tolth, and the fermenter will go inside there, and then I'll be able to regulate the temperature for the fermentation. And I'll probably chuck this sort of over there somewhere. But that's the plan. So right now it's cooling down, and I'm going to see how low it can go and whether it can stay at that low temperature consistently. Yep. So right now it's just running open loop. There's no temperature controlling at all. And I'm just going to see if it can keep up with the heat migrating through this insulation from the outside to the inside. So it needs to be around 18 degrees inside, depending on what you're doing, somewhere between sort of 15 and 20 degrees, and depending on what sort of yeast you want to grow. So it doesn't need to get super cold, but it does need to be able to keep up with it being 40 degrees outside and like maintain a 20 degree temperature gradient across this insulation. So we'll see if this can keep up. Right now it's about, I don't know, 25 degrees Celsius. So we'll see how low it gets inside there. Okay, bye-bye.